Hello and welcome to Epic Games free marketplace content for September 2021. My name is Saragan, and today we have some interesting ones today. I'm actually quite interested. So we have the Alchemist House, which, if we take a look into, is pretty much a load of free assets. To do with alchemy. I say to do with alchemy. I mean, you could probably repurpose this for most things, like, magician's house or just someone who likes books. That's a possibility. Comes with 168 meshes. All of the textures are 1024. Apparently, it contains more than 100 hand painted. Now, I don't know exactly what they're referring to by hand painted. I'm assuming not procedurally generated and done by hand. However, I mean, the wood looks pretty damn good. So, I mean, kudos if they did that by hand. So yeah, they're all the assets that you can utilize, and that would be good for any kind of level design. So what else have we got? Close combat animation set. Now I collect these like no tomorrow, just because animations are hard to do, and the more packs you have for this, very much of a Naruto run there, let's run with your arms behind you type thing. Yes, so I collect all these because the more you have, the better it is for your characters, and you can blend, you can retarget. For those who don't really know how to do retargeting on your meshes, can't speak today, then let me know, and I can do a video on how to retarget meshes. As long as you've got a similar bone structure, you're pretty sorted. Yeah, lots of nice animations in here. I must have taken a while. 10 attacks, 11 evades, 3 blocks. 9 hit reactions, they are worth it. 13 locomotions, nice. I wonder how much the idle walks and runs differ from the standard. So that's something that I have instantly grabbed. We also have a level design toolkit. So on here, what have we got? We have multiple actors. If you want to group with the level design toolkit, so we put a box or a sphere around a zone and select everything. Okay, so this is just sort of like a quick utility for managing a load of objects in a scene, which will generally help. It's got a sample for you to test with. I think I'm going to just have a play around with it and see if I feel that this is actually worth utilizing. I mean, I don't really find it very difficult to select items in a scene because I do a lot of grouping. What was that one? Oh, thank you. So that's splines there, and ways of placing placing things in a modular fashion. Yeah, I mean, for those level designers that really struggle with selections and dealing with the coding for placing modular stuff, then yeah, this is certainly a useful tool. As I said, I don't really have a lot of issues with level design, so I'm not really too worried about this. But yeah, it's an interesting one to throw in there, and for some people certainly it will be very helpful. Moving on, we have an old brick house. Very sort of realistic styling on this. Very sort of old-fashioned styling, because you see our old television there. Old sideboards that they don't tend to keep in hallways anymore. Nice piano though. I do like the piano. I wonder if they've actually made that work. definitely an old style kitchen. So yeah, this is definitely a poker table. That's changed my opinion. Yeah, gotta have a poker table. You could do a lot with Bioshock on that. So yeah, this is another interesting one. It's got some very high res textures, so be wary on size. It's got 418 meshes. That's pretty impressive. Looks like they've actually built the house to go with it, which is even more interesting. But yeah, I mean, a lot of free assets. I mean, you can use these in any shape or form. I mean, you could use that table in a 7 Days to Die clone or something, you know. So lots of free assets there, and as I said, you can just use one. You don't have to use them all. This one actually, I think, goes and does something similar to the spline tool that's in here. But it's all procedurally generated. So yeah, includes 16 high quality material presets, which is very useful. So you can do nice sort of castle designs, or you can do funky sort of sci-fi type walls, or just like a dungeon temple thing with all the moss and stuff like that. So that's interesting. 232 textures to go with it, medium resolution, so they'll probably work in almost all aspects of what you need it to be done. And 16 pre-made looks, so yeah, that's another useful one if you don't want to spend your time creating an insane amount of walls. You can just use the spline tool. And it's even got an easily added doorways section as well, so that's also useful for making very large maps. So you can just add doors where you want them. So yeah, this one's a nice one, and that goes pretty much hand in hand with the level design toolkit. So they're really focusing on level design this time. And to top it all off, we have the last one, which is the building generator. Now, this one allows you to create buildings, really, just to save time. And it's all procedurally generated. Now, this will be good for large scales like apocalyptic, like you got here, or GTA style games where you need an awful lot of buildings. They've actually included a workflow diagram, which is actually impressive. So you've got industrial buildings, commercial buildings, and residential. This will also, I don't know if this works at runtime, whether you can increase it at runtime, but might be potentially good for something like a SimCity clone. Where, you know, where you place down your zone and then buildings generate over time, different heights, different levels. That might be something this could be capable of. I'm not entirely too sure. That's something I would need to test. Does it work? It doesn't say as far as I can see, but no, it's quite small in terms of footprint. You got another couple of blueprints, but I imagine the logic in it is fairly complicated. So yeah, bear that in mind. Certainly, if you've got roads and traffic to deal with as well. But yeah, I don't know how static that is in comparison. But yeah. That will be all for September, and we got a reasonable collection. Highlights for me, personally, are the close combat animation set, probably the procedural spine wall, and the buildings. I think everything else I probably won't use too much, but yeah, if you enjoyed watching this, please feel free to hit that like and subscribe button. I am doing these every month, so thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you next time and next month for the next set. So bye for now. Bye bye.